You know, I didn't do a story on Friday because I was ill and my daughter brought something home. But I was in my shop here listening to Shiny Ribs, aka Kevin Russell, and that made me think of a story. But before I tell the story, I just want to go over a few things here. This young lady is about to be finished. I bolted the neck on last night. I made a hardwood shim because I didn't want to pay $40 for someone to send me a shim for this B16, which requires a weird shim. 3.5 hours and still it wasn't done. But I finished it, and I might have a perfect neck, but I'm sure that's not the case. And then over here, check this out. These are lemon drops. Orange drops, I'm sorry. Lemon drops? Orange drops. All varieties of orange drops. Capacitors. All kinds of switches. You name it. 5-way, 4-way. This is a 6-way super switch right there with a push-pull. Push-pulls are horrible. I mean, that's a push-push. I did not mean to buy it, but I'm probably going to use it. And so then this is my my new Texas license plate control plate that I cut and sliced and diced my hand on. See if I still have my scar here. Oh, yeah. And then we'll swing around real quick just for the whole thing. So, bam! This is the soldering section. Variable soldering iron, a must-have. If you're going to solder, get that one. Don't get the cheap one. And then this is actually a real 1955 Elvis mic. Sure. The internals I own, but they're gutted because they're no good. So I was thinking about doing something creative there. So anyway, this is kind of the fire extinguisher. Gotta have that. Team Hell up here. I didn't even know I had those, and I found them. And I was like, holy cow. And then behind that, if anyone knew me in Waco, that hung in my, the thing that says board, which you can't see. Whoa. There's bullet holes in it. And that is from Waco, when I lived in Waco, Texas, and I thought it would be interesting to pull my pistol out in the kitchen and shoot that board, because I thought it would stop the bullet, but it didn't. And then this is a cavalry saber that I've had forever. Hopefully it'll stay there. So anyway, to my story. I'm going to now cut to the story. Mr. Shiny Ribs is singing to us in the background. So, Waco, Texas, 1986, 5? I don't know. But Kevin at the time was in a band called Picket Line Coyotes. And young pups. Young and pretty, you know, young, 20s. And I was with a bunch of my good friends at the time. We had to be freshmen, maybe sophomores, at Baylor University. And we're at a movie theater. So the band is up on the stage of where the movie would play. And then we're all in our seats with our ramped aisles, you know. And back then, I guess my drinking choice was 151. Which explains a lot of the story. But I was sitting in my seat listening to the band, and then a brilliant idea came over me. And the idea was that I should run down the aisle as fast as I could. There was a bar right in front of the band, and I would jump in the air and grab the bar, swing up, take the mic from the singer, and finish the song, which is exactly what I did. And Kevin, who didn't know me, if I recall, which I can, he just kind of stood there, and I sang the words of the Beverly Hillbillies song till the song was over, and then people clapped, and I got off the stage, and it just seemed like a normal thing to do. Then, in retrospect, it seems highly abnormal, and not something you might think about doing, but you wouldn't actually do it. So anyway, I did, and I went backstage after the show, and talking to the drummer, and he said, man, no one's ever done anything like that before, and not gotten hit in the head by Kevin with the mic stand. So congratulations. And I was like, yeah, right on. So we drank a lot of beer, and then it was whenever they came to town, we would find a place for them to stay, and we would have a party. And then I went to LA, and I would go to Nashville or Austin, see Kevin. And there was even a time where Kevin turned to me and said, if you buy a bass, stand-up bass, you might could be in my band. Which, in retrospect, might have been a much better idea than going to LA and living in the future tense of all things evil, the earthquakes, the mudslides, fires, you know what it's called, multiple bad relationships, and then the riots, of course. So anyway, it brings us all back around to Shiny Ribs. he's still out there singing, making the good music, just as good and better than he was back in the day. So check them out. The Gourds, you can check them out on, or Shiny Ribs, or Kevin Russell, and enjoy him. That's it for my story for the week. I'll get this up. Thank y'all. Bye.